All right, here we go. We are diving into our upper semi-finals to find out who faces Ryu in the grand finals. Of course, our Peruvian Zerg player. Let us go. And here we are, spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE. We have the Colombian Zerg player representing Infernales Esports. He's the best player in all of Colombia. It is eGGz. He has been patiently waiting for the past hour for his opponent. His opponent being in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE. We have the Chilean Protoss player himself, El Mismísimo, representing eGGz Ignorant. He just took down Tavo. Can he do the same to eGGz? It is Cristiano. Where is Chris from? Chile. God, Cosmos. SMH my head, mate. What's going on? Ay. If you're wondering who Cosmos is, Cosmos is the Portuguese stream. Oh, we have a Forge first. Cannons at home. What? What is happening right now? So first I was about to say Cosmos is the Portuguese caster. He is casting over on the Brazilian stream. He's a great caster. Fun fact, he actually has his own band. He has a very nice voice. He is a vocalist, so massive shout out to Cosmos. We love him. Much love, much love. But Cristiano opens up with a Forge first. He does deny the natural, forces the unnatural natural. Okay, he is still going for a follow-up cannon rush, but he did prioritize the cannon at home, which was odd to me. A little bit inefficient, did slow this down, but he is still going for it. And eGGz has no idea. He doesn't have an Overlord over the base. He doesn't see. He doesn't know until now. eGGz, he gets across the map. He now has confirmation. Oh my god, the cannon reveals it. Is the Overlord going to die? No, eGGz, no, not like this. Oh god, that was so close. The Overlord barely survives. Meanwhile, cannons are finishing up here across the map. Lings are on the way. 8 Lings in total. Boys are being pulled as well. Is this going to be enough? Creep is extending, by the way, so that means there's going to be less room here to throw down buildings. We do have a backup pylon, but the cannons are going to finish. Oh god, even the probe putting in a little bit of DPS here. One cannon will fall, but only one. The other two will complete. Oh, that was so close, but the creep, it extended a little bit too far. Did delay that cannon. That means that this cannon, I don't think it may be in range of the hatchery. We'll see, but this hatchery is under threat. Meanwhile, more Lings are on the way. Lings speed as well. Interesting, eGGz actually didn't pull out of gas, so he could throw down a Bailey Nest if he so wished to try and Bane Bust after this, as he's going to try and collapse on these cannons. Is it going to be enough? Up. It looks like it barely will. Ugh. My god, imagine if this third cannon was more far. It was more forward, by the way. Can it shoot the base? It can shoot the base. Oh my god, it's so disgusting. Eventually eGGz will clean this up, but the damage has been done. Behind this, Cristiano, he can transition. We got a Stalker on the way. I would love to see a Stargate at some point. It's just so many Lings have been used up. 22 Lings, that's a lot of Lings. I was talking about the fact that he didn't pull out of gas. There it is. Bailey Nest is on the way. eGGz is going to go for a counter Bane Bust. He is not looking to let this game go on any longer. He is going across the map. And honestly, Cristiano is vulnerable right now. He does have a shield battery on the way, which is great. He does have a full wall off, but we need more than just a full wall off. We are still only working with a single gateway. We need a Stargate here as well. Cybercore has finished up. Like, we need a little bit more, because eGGz is not looking for this game to go on any longer. There we go. Banelings are ready and waiting. They're going to be able to bust through. There's still only one pylon. Oh god. The Lings are here. The Banes are here as well. The Banelings are going to be able to crash into the Forge. The Forge survives. No. What? The Forge survives. Cristiano holds. There is no way to break through anymore. And now eGGz has shown his hand. So Cristiano, he's making more shield batteries. He's making more pylons. The Lings are back though. Yo, we need some target fire. This shield battery has to help. Shield battery target. Shield battery is trying to keep things alive, kind of. The target fire of the shield battery was not there. Baneley's gonna go up. Shield battery is trying to keep this cannon up and running. And it looks like it will. Oh my god. And Cristiano, he defends. eGGz is droning up. He's given up. He's given up with the Bane bust. He's trying to transition. He's trying to get a third base up and running, but he's got less workers. He doesn't have any tech. He wasted a bunch of gas on this Baneling nest. There's no Roach Warren. There's no Lair. Cristiano is looking in a really good position, kind of. So, if this Twilight Council, was a Stargate instead, I think Cristiano could just win with a couple of Void Rays, right? Like the bases are separated, there's no creep, like there's very minimal queens. Void Rays would just win the game. Cristiano is going for a different route. He's going for a 2-base all-in with Blink Stalkers instead. This is going to take much longer, and it will give eGGz the opportunity to come back. So we'll see how this goes for Cristiano. He's going to be moving out across the map with a couple of Adepts, going to try and harass a little bit. eGGz is going for a very fast Lair. I'm curious as to what the plan with the Lair is. Is this for... this shouldn't be for Spire. Spire would be insane. Nidus, question mark? He doesn't really have many units to Nidus. Roach Warren is on the way. Maybe it is just for Roach speed. You know, maybe he's just taking up in that direction. But we'll see. Meanwhile, another Overlord gets taken out. Blink is about to finish up. I feel like, oh my god, we have a very fast Hydra then. I was about to say, I think it would be a mistake if Cristiano lets eGGz saturate a third base. I think it's going to be a massive mistake if he does that. I think Cristiano has to kill eGGz while he can. We have a War Prism on the way, and that's the first sign of aggression. But at the same time, Cristiano is taking a third base. I don't think I like this. As ahead as Cristiano was, like, getting into a mid game and getting into the late game against eGGz, I don't think he wants to do that. He scouts, he confirms the Hydra Den. Oh boy. Honestly, this is a pretty good scout. This is pretty amazing. Confirms the third base, confirms the saturation, so he gets a lot of information. What he should be aware of is that there's no way that Lurkers are going to be out anytime soon. He needs to go now. And there we go. He is going for the kill. We have the Warp Prism. We've got Mass Sentry. This time, he will not be warping in at home and waddling across the map. This time, he'll be warping in the face of eGGz. And this is going to be a kill move. Do we have any Ravagers? No. Do we have any Roaches? No. That means that there is no answer to these sentries. Force fields are going to be king. And boys are forced off the line. They need to be evacuated. The Banelings are trying to warp. They're trying to warp in as fast as they can. It looks like maybe some of them will. It's not going to be enough. GG. Oh my god. GG, well played. This is what I was talking about. In a normal game, in a standard game, I think eGGz wins. I think eGGz, he is the clear favorite. But Cristiano, he is anything but normal. He is a strange person. He's a madman. He goes for cannon rushes, he goes for cheese, he goes for proxies, he goes for all-ins. Cristiano is already up 1-0 in the series. He only needs one more to move on to the grand finals. What is happening? What is happening? See Don J in the chat. Let the games begin. Let the memes begin, boys. Cannon rush, mate. A really weird execution of the cannon rush as well, right? Like prioritizing the cannon at home. Going for that full wall off means that there can't be like a proxy like hatchery response or anything like that. But what a wild game. What a wild game. I love how Thabo is in the chat. He's cheering for eGGz. Like, go eGGz, go. Get him. Get him. Crazy. Absolutely crazy. Here we go. We are starting up. We are getting into game number 2. This should not be a 2-0. This shouldn't be a 2-0, but I don't know. I don't know what Cristiano's gonna do. I don't think we're gonna see a Forge first again. I think eGGz may even 12 pool. We'll see. he's 12 pooled before. He can do it again. Oh god. Ay ay ay. So what is happening? What timeline are we living in right now? Here we go. Spawning in the top right hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have our Colombian Zerg player representing Infernales Esports. He's the best player in all of Colombia. He's one of the best Zerg players in all of Latino America, but he's down in the series. He needs this game to bring it back, to bring it to the ace match. It is eGGz. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Chilean Protoss player. He is yellow, representing eGggz Ignite. This madman took down Tavo, who's there in the chat, and he also took the game, the first game against eGggz. What a madman. What an absolute madman. It is Cristiano. What is happening right now? Jesus Christ. Well, this game, we don't see a Forge. You know, we see a much more standard opener from our Protoss player, but you know what isn't? eGggz, this time, he keeps his second Overlord here at home. He is so paranoid. He is making sure he spots any kind of cannon rush. You know what this means? Cristiano is in his head. He is in the egg. And he is getting ready to scramble. Oh, even eGggz pulling a boy down here. Oh my god, eGggz is so paranoid, and I don't blame him. As a fellow Zerg player, if you get cannon rushed and if you get into game 2, like, you have to respect it, right? Like, sure, maybe you're being paranoid, and sure, your opponent can take advantage of that, but like, you know, your tournament life is on the line. You have to play safe. That's exactly what he's doing. Oh boy. It does mean that he will have a little bit less scouting information out on the map. He has to rely on the one Overlord instead. And hopefully that is enough for eGggz. Meanwhile, Cristiano back at home, pretty standard openers so far. There's a pylon behind the main mineral line, and we'll see if he does open up with a Stargate or with a Twilight Council. That is the first point of divergence here for our Protoss player. Meanwhile, eGggz, he is free to just play out his game now. This time, he's able to get his natural base on location. His third base is beautifully timed as well, so, you know, even though he didn't really get to play his game in Game 1, here in Game 2, he is free to at least have his opener to himself. Cristiano is getting ready, and there it is. It is going to be a Twilight Castle. Interesting. Interesting. I don't know if I'm fond of this. I do think that Stargate openers are Cristiano's forte. Cristiano's forte. I think that's where he excels the most. We'll see if he can get anything done here with this Twilight Council. I imagine this is going to be for Glaives. At the moment, he's doing the best he can to try and deny any kind of scouting information from eGggz. The Overlord is here outside the third base, and he does have Pneumatized Carapace on the way. I love this. So eGggz, he will get the scout off 100%. There is no Void Ray out to deny the scout, and with Overlord speed, he will be able to dive in. And oh, this is not Glaives. The madman is going for Blink. Okay. Blink Stalkers, let's go. So this has been rising in popularity recently, especially in the Korean scene. If you were watching I Am Katowice, you got to see that we had very little Stargate openers from the Korean Protosses, even though this was before the nerf to Void Rays. And that is because so many Zerg players in the pro scene have gotten used to going up against Stargate openers. And they kind of hard counter it. They got very good at Queen Walks as well. So a lot of players have been experimenting a lot more with Blink Stalkers. And this gets scouted. Very nice scout there by eGggz. He confirms the build, confirms the opener, knows that, okay, there aren't going to be any Void Rays. It's going to be Mass Blink Stalker. I need to focus a lot more on Lings and Roaches and Ravagers. That's exactly what he is going to do. Meanwhile, Cristiano, he knows that he got scouted. He's going for that third base. War Prism is still on the way, so of course it does signify his aggression. He's going to have 4 gates to work with. I don't know if he can really deal too much damage. We'll see. It depends how many sentries he's going to be able to work with. With enough sentries and Blink Stalkers, like, you can kind of power your way through, especially if there aren't enough Ravagers. But we'll see. Surprisingly, eGggz is moving out with his army. He's rallying his units across the map. What? Okay, let's go. Okay, they're coming back. Okay, maybe it looks like it was a miss rally. It was a bit of a miss rally, but they are coming back home. I was like, mate, do you really want to go across the map right now? He doesn't. He backs off. I love his positioning of his lings. They're all over the place, and they should confirm. Yes, they do in fact confirm the War Prism coming out. So now eGGz knows now is not the time to drone up. Now is the time to make units, to make lings, to make roaches, to make sure I have an army to deal with what is going to be coming my way. And there we go. Lings are in production. He's a little bit supply blocked. Feels bad, man. 5 overlords? A laser. What are you doing here in Latin America? It's 9 overlords in production. Oh my god. It really is a laser. Jesus Christ. So eGGz really wants to get out of the supply block. Meanwhile, massive shout out to Shu Yu in the chat. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed your cast. I know that over on her channel they were casting the Magikarp Masters Open, something like Magikarp Cup Open. I don't know what it's called. It's a it's a Masters tournament up to 4.9k MMRs. So I hope you enjoyed your broadcast. I hope you enjoyed the games. I hope you had plenty of great games. Meanwhile, if you're just tuning in from that stream, here we have our Latin American bi-weekly tournament, Sentimiento Latino 126. That's a lot of Sentimiento Latinos. That's a lot of tournaments. We've been running this for many, many years, and here we are in the semifinals. ZvP, eGGz versus Cristiano, Colombia versus Chile. Oh boy, and we had a wild game 1. Game 2 is a little bit more standard. As of course, eGGz is looking to try and delay that 4th base a little bit here. Any kind of aggression that Cristiano was kind of hinting at earlier was kind of thwarted due to the fact that eGGz had eyes on everything. And Cristiano is slowly expanding and taking that 4th base, and this is where I start to worry a little bit, because now eGGz, he has had the freedom to drone up this entire time. Cristiano hasn't been active on the map at all, and now as a result, eGGz has got a decent drone count. Now he can counterattack across the map. The Baileys are rolling into the middle line. Oh god, Puppy, please respond. Oh no. Oh. The Baileys, they roll in, they take out every single probe at the 3rd base. Ay, 17 workers are going down. At the same time, eGGz was even able to deny the 4th base. Cristiano is now all in. He has to go across the map, hallucinate some Colossus, because, mate, you need everything you got. You need, you need everything you can muster right now. And is it going to be enough? I mean, mate, we got pure Blink Stalkers. There's no way. We got pure Blink Stalkers at this point. A couple of sentries as well, but the Bailings are gonna be able to connect with the army. They do connect in the end. The Blinks are just not good enough. Even have a couple of vials on the War Prism. Just barely missed, but there's just too much Zerg on the ground. Cristiano had a great game number 1, but here in game 2, there's just too much Zerg. He just allowed eGGz to play out his game, do whatever he wanted, and have the freedom to get to this stage. Overcharge is being popped, but honestly, that's a pretty exposed shield battery. There we go. The Baileys do connect with it. There's almost nothing left. Even if Cristiano defends here, no, the War Prism! War Prism gets sniped. Even if he defends here, like, the economic damage done is just far too great, and GG gets called. eGGz ties up the series 1-1. GG. Magikarp Masters Cup, that's it. Oh god, there's a lot of cups, there's a lot of carps, there's a lot going on there. But yeah, hope you guys enjoyed that tournament. Shout out to Xenodactyl in the chat. I imagine Xenodactyl probably played in it. There were probably a lot of cannons involved as well. I miss Xenodactyl. He used to compete in our tournaments a little bit, and yeah, his cannons were something to behold, But GG. Well played. eGGz takes game number 2, and we are going to our ace match. He will not be taking this lying down. He will be able to fight back here, especially when the game is a little bit more normal, a little bit more orthodox, right? We saw how eGGz struggled a little bit in game 1, where things were so chaotic and crazy, and there were cannons all over the place, and there was a Bane bust and everything going on. It was crazy. But in a more standard game, eGGz, he is the clear favorite, and this is where I have to criticize Cristiano a little bit, because he should be aware of that. He should be aware that, mate, if the game goes on up to the 8-10 minute mark and I'm not really being aggressive, I'm not dealing damage, I can't really do this against eGGz. That's why I assumed it was going to be a Glaive Adept opener. That's why I was shocked when it was Blink Stalkers instead. Significantly less aggressive. So, yeah, I do worry a little bit, but we're going to the ace match, and Cristiano has a little bit of time to rethink his approach here with how he's going to approach this ace match and what he's going to bring to the table in this ZvP. Oof. Inspired from that Master Swan Open you'll have. Yeah. I am aware. Shout out to the people who run Magic Cup, Masters Cup. I believe Papa Panda runs it, right? I could be wrong. I remember Papa Panda having a hand in it at some point. But yeah, it's a great initiative. It's basically the equivalent of the tournament that we run, except at a much more friendly North American time. I know the big criticism from Master Swan Open is that it's just not friendly to North America. I think it starts at like 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. for North America, and it's a 4-hour tournament. So you have to just ruin your sleep schedule, and people go to work, people have school, people have classes, so only the most degen and only the most dedicated North American and Latin American participants are a part of Master Swan Open. But enough about that, because here we are in the ace match of our semifinals, and spawning in the bottom right hand corner, oh my god, spawning in the bottom right, going for the 12 pool, we have our Colombian Zerg player representing Infernales Esports. It's a gran huevo himself. It is eGGz. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Blackburn LE, we have El Mismísimo himself, the Cannon Rush King, hailing from the land of Chile, representing eGGz Ignite. It is Cristiano. Oh, let's go. Oh my god. Meanwhile, I see a copy pasted in the chat. I see a lot of people blaming CristianoX loss on this or that, but it really comes down to that he isn't playing as well as he usually does. He's been playing a lot of mistakes, even compared to this year in GSL. What is happening right now? Yeah. I think that's the Jadolf copy pasta, if I'm not wrong. Oh god, but here we go. Lings are on the way. They're flooding across the map here, and oh god. So Cristiano, he does have eyes on this. He did go for a probe scout, so he's well aware, especially because he saw that there was no base. We even have a drone coming across the map as well for that proxy hatch. I imagine it's a proxy hatch. As a response, Cristiano is trying to chrono out that zealot, but I feel like chronoing out a zealot is not going to be enough here. He does have a probe, to be fair, but oh my god, the drone gets in! Yo! Oh god! The drone does get in. Do we have enough? No, we do not. eGGz does go for his hatchery at his natural base. He doesn't go for the proxy hatch I was hoping for. Feels bad, man. And the Lings are here. So far, so good for the Zealot, but there are enough Lings that they can power through this if they so wish. And oh my god, the hatchery is going down! For nada, Cristiano. You could have stopped this, puppy. You could have stopped this. The hatch is on the way. Second Zealot gets chronoed out. Oh god. Oh, nice movement there. He's able to replace the weakened Zealot with the stronger one. And so far, so good when it comes to the response here from Cristiano. He has to be so careful not to be out of position with his Zealots. He cannot let these things in. As they slowly chip away. Again, I love how he's just mixing and matching these Zealots. Ah, it's so good. Cristiano will defend. Again, eGGz is droning up back at home. He is attempting to get back into his gases, attempting to work on his link speed. Oh, and I love this. I actually love this. This is huge. So, because of the opener, eGGz, link speed is so late. It's going to be so difficult to keep up with these adepts, especially because the Lings were already across the map. The adepts do take a little bit because they do go through the slow zone, but these adepts have a lot of potential to deal damage, depending on the control, depending on the army movement here from Cristiano. Let's go. Don't get surrounded. Oh god, the adepts do rock up, shave off a couple of these Lings, and could be able to shade into the main base. So far, they confirmed that there are no drones at the natural base for the time being. Force a gas to be taken as they shade into the main and force a lot of lost mining time. Again, 2 adepts. Oh my god. The positioning in the mineral line is absolutely disgusting. And they won't get too many drones, but again, a lot of lost mining time. And this early on in the game, this is huge. Oh boy. I see Papa Panda in the chat. Yes, sir, but also Zeno. Ah, okay. This is a joint effort, And this is what I wanted out of game number 2. Cristiano, now that he has defended the early aggression, is going into a Stargate. Thankfully. The Twilight Council play just wasn't really working out for him. Ground toss just isn't really what you want against eggs. Taking control of the skies feels like a little bit of a safer plan here. Oh boy. As now, especially because Cristiano was forced to make these 2 zealots, ideally you want to make use of them, right? So he does move out a little bit with these adepts, does threaten his opponent, but doesn't commit to moving out across the map. He doesn't want to throw them away needlessly. Ooh. And in the end, he is going for that Void Ray. Thankfully, eGGz is able to scout this. He does dip in with his Overlord, confirms the Void Ray on the way. And we even have +1 range, so this is kind of like, you know, an old school just sky toss. Let's go. How would this fare here? I mean, Blackburn was never a map to really queen walk on anyway, so I don't think that's going to really affect eGGz too much. But once he recognizes that it is going to be sky toss, someone in the chat was talking about it. What is his response going to be? Are we going to go for a Hydra push? Is he going to accept his fate and just start getting ready for the late game? You know, throw down more bases, get into an infestation pit. I do have to wonder. Speaking of wondering, the leagues, oh my god! Oh, they do get a full surround and they do force a cancel there on that 3rd base. That was so close, almost the kill. Even gets the probe. Ay. Meanwhile, a bit of a misrally. No, Cristiano! Papi, ¿por qué? Not like this! Oh, the first Void Ray goes down for free. Cristiano with misrally, with the miscontrol. He is transitioning into mass Void Ray, by the way. 3 Stargates. We're going to have a Fleet Beacon for Flux Veins. But losing your first Void Ray like that is huge. eGGz already having a great start, especially with the loss of the first Void Ray. Like things like this, like eGGz isn't being punished for taking a 4th base, despite there being plenty of like opportunity to abuse this location with units in the sky. Despite there being no creep and no queens in position, like eGGz, he's free to just be greedy and expand. When otherwise there should be a Void Ray here forcing a cancel. Ay. Oh, the copy passes, they just keep on coming. Oh, God. Okay, meanwhile, there we go. Fleet Beacon is on the way again. Flux Veins is going to be on the horizon here for Cristiano to maintain control of the map with his Void Rays and slowly get into something like Carriers or Tempest. But I do wonder how eGGz is going to respond to, I mean, I already said that, right? Like, it looks like for the time being, he is going into Hydras. Is he going to commit to Hydras, or are the Hydras just kind of like a stepping stone to get into Spire and get into Corruptors? That's kind of what I'm most curious about. We have seen eGGz go for Hydra timings in the past, and if, of course, the Protoss player doesn't have splash damage ready in time, it can work. But it's also very risky because Hydras are so expensive, and if your first push doesn't really work out for you, then you may as well GG. We can see it is a stepping stone, and this makes a lot of sense. A lot of Zerg players are doing this where you get a handful of Hydras, you know, around 6, maybe a couple more Hydras to survive and deal with these initial Void Rays while you transition into Corruptors. The Spire is already on the way. Again, it's just, you know, it's just a stopgap, if you will. Which means that eGGz wants to go into late game. Which means eGGz isn't going for a timing. It means he's getting ready for the later stage of the game for that Sky Toss. As, oh no, who is it? A little bit of latency there. Hopefully it didn't affect the players. I don't know if it was the admin, one of the players, or a caster. Exclamation mark for not a Latin American ping. Oh my god, the queens! No! No! Okay, they were targeting down the hatchery for a moment there. The Void Rays, though, the control is looking pretty good so far. I say that as he does end up losing a Void Ray in the end. Ay, Cristiano, por favor. Does finally take down some of these drones, but doesn't have enough to overwhelm the queens that are here. Not just queens, but also Hydras. Again, that is the role of the Hydras to begin with. Meanwhile, we should be seeing some Spire upgrades on the way, I imagine. eGGz is still making Hydras though. which I'm a little bit interested in. Okay, maybe this push could work because we're still lacking splash damage. Like, we didn't see a Disruptor, we didn't see a Robotics Mate to go into Disruptors, we haven't seen a Templar Archives to go into High Templar either. We don't even have Charge. It's just Void Rays and a handful of vanilla Gateway units. Like, Eggs can definitely hit a solid timing here, and the Static Defense just isn't ready. Oh god, Cristiano has to be so careful. But what Cristiano does have and what Eggs is respecting are the force fields, the sentries. Oh god, speaking of, there we have them. A couple force fields go down, cutting up that army. But those were the only 2 force fields available. That is it. That is all Cristiano has. And that means Eggs can keep on pushing forward. Does back off for the time being, waiting for a couple of reinforcements. But we have more sentries. Oh god, Eggs, you don't want to fight here, buddy. This is not the way to go. He's going into Infestors? Okay. Mutas? Man, he's getting everything. Okay. Was that intentional? 3 mutas? Only 3 mutas? That's not enough to one-shot workers, by the way. Despite that, the Hydras just have such high DPS. They do mow down 9 probes in the blink of an eye. Very nice damage done, and there we go. He is committing into even more mutas. Interesting. I mean, it's gonna work, I feel, when it comes to harassing the mineral line and just keeping the economy of Cristiano low. Meanwhile, we've got that 1 token Infestor. It doesn't have enough energy to do anything. It literally can't do anything right now, but it's here. It's being a part. He's supporting his friends. The Zerg army. Let's go. And the mutas are on the way. Again, completely unscattered. This is going to be a massive shock, a massive surprise to Cristiano. And he's going to have to try and split up his army. Meanwhile, there we go. Microbial Shroud thrown down. Oh my god. And just like that, the Void Rays are getting picked off one after the other. And at the same time, the mutas dive in. We do have a couple of Stalkers morphing in, and it looks like they're going to be enough to force away these mutas. Again, are these mutas going to pay for themselves? It looks like they will. Oh my god. 13 probes going down, 15, well worth it already. In the end, the mutas will be completely cleaned up, but they're forcing all these Void Rays out of position, and now what is here to defend the gold? Nothing. Nothing at all. Cristiano, por favor. And with that one swift move, Cristiano, he may just lose the base entirely. Infestor does get rallied into the army, bit of a shame. And with the overcharge, does keep the Nexus alive, just barely, but 21 probes went down. I'm impressed that Cristiano's probe count is as healthy as it is, I'll be honest. But again, it could be even healthier. I feel like he needs to expand and take another base at this point. Like, trying to hold on to this gold just hasn't been working out for him. He's been losing more than he's been gaining. But what else he's been gaining is this army. Now we have carriers. Now we have High Templar. Do we have Storm? We even have Storm! This is a terrifying army. He's still lacking a little bit when it comes to when it comes to Archons, and maybe even some more High Templar. God, but we'll see how he goes. Oh god, the army is engaging. I don't think we have enough energy for a storm. We need some storms, Puppy. Where are they? Puppy, where are they? Oh, we have 3 High Templar. Oh, and he just can't wait long enough. He goes for the feedbacks instead. And that may be it. Oh my god, who needs Storm? Who am I kidding? Oh my god. We were waiting for Storm when really all we needed were feedbacks and just some more gateway units. Apparently that was enough. Cristiano does take the fight. And what is the worrisome thing? The most worrisome thing is that we see continued Hydra production. Hydras are so expensive. Like these are losses. These are trades that Eggs is struggling to afford. Like, losing Hydras like this is painful. Speaking of painful, we need some High Templar. Where there they are. 2 High Templar on the way. Once again, there is no Warp Prism. They're not being warped in at the front, on the front lines. Oh god, Cristiano's trying to force his way through. Without Storm, he's having a hard time, but maybe he can do it. We need some Storm, Puppy. Oh god. No, we don't. Ay, ay, ay. The interceptors are all being cleaned up with the High Templar are finally here. The Storms do connect with the Hydras, buying enough time for Cristiano to back off and reinforce. Gather a couple more interceptors, and it looks like Cristiano has a little bit too much here. Game 1, Cannon Rush. Game 2, he falls on his face with some Blink Stalkers. But here in Game 3, going Sky Toss, it is all you need. GG gets called and Cristiano does it. He moves on to the Grand Finals. Wrong button. What a madman. Oh my god. Absolutely disgusting. But again, I was talking about it before. When I saw the Hydrogen and then I saw the Spire not too far behind it, I was like, yeah, we're only going to see a couple of Hydras, then we're going to transition into Corruptors. eGGz made the classic Zerg mistake and made too many Hydras. He was stuck on them for far too long. When you have to get out of them, you're going to get out of the Hydras, you're going to get into your Hive, you're going to get into Vipers, Corruptors, and start investing your gas elsewhere. Over time, Hydras, they do fall off. They do not scale into the late game the way that we want them to. All it takes is a couple of storms and you're done. And as we saw, sometimes you don't even need storms. Sometimes you just need a couple of charge lots on the ground to support you as well. It also is because eGGz, he was mass Hydra. He didn't have any lurkers to support his army either to help him against that ground toss, to help support those Hydras. So eGGz, he just was tunnel visioning a little bit too much. I'm sure he smelled blood in the water. Like, he had some nice moves. Like, when he was harassing outside the gold base, he was killing a lot of workers. The Muta switch was really good as well. He was killing a lot of workers there. But he was being very, very, he just didn't care about his gas and how he was spending it. I was like, oh my god, like, there's a lot of gas invested in those Mutas. Jesus. Yeah. And with that, GG, well played. Congratulations, Cristiano. He makes it to the Grand Finals. I am shocked, by the way. This is the fun fact. This is the furthest Cristiano has ever gone in Sentimiento Latino. Before this, he's made it to the semifinals before, where he almost made it to the finals. But this is his first Grand Finals. He is peaking right now. He is peaking as a Protoss. Oh. I'm speechless. I am speechless, and with that, we are getting ready for our Grand Finals. But before the Grand Finals, of course, I want to direct everyone's attention to the bracket. We had a massive bracket today. We had around a 64 brackets, around a 32 really, and a couple extra in there as well. We had a lot of players that were participating in today's tournament, and something special that we have for Sentimiento Latino is we have a participation raffle. Of course, it is a raffle that goes on to any player. As long as you competed today, as long as you played a series, you are eligible for the raffle. Doesn't matter if you made it to the Grand Finals like Cristiano, doesn't matter if you got knocked out in the first round like ENG, you are equally likely to win the raffle.